Dealing with kids that have a little bit of anxiety or maybe a bit stressed about things. So since I've started working with kids, which was from a pretty young age, I actually started coaching kids when I was 17. I am 25 now. And a lot of things that I notice when working with kids from all ages is that they just want to feel like they're valued. They don't want to feel like a number. They want to be remembered and they want to feel like they're wanted and needed and loved. So one of the best things that I love doing when I see my kids is saying, "Hey legend," and talking about what they did at school that day, or how training was, or how if they bought new boots, like asking how their new boots feel, or if they just went into year 7, like how was their first day of high school, do they like certain subjects, you know. It's about being interested in their life and then they feel like they're valued. Other things with kids too is they have a lot of pressures these days. It's like to look a certain way or to post a certain thing or to be talented already at your sport. And sometimes forget that as adults. We forget that there's all this pressure on social media that they should be like the professional athletes, or they should look like the supermodels, or they should be like their friends and have the latest iPhones. And it's so much more pressure than what we ever had. But what we're doing is the worst thing in the world. We're comparing our life when we were kids to what their life now is kids, when they're totally different, and we shouldn't compare at all. The way kids feel more relaxed and they feel like they can open up and talk to you is if you relate to them. So when I talk to them about doing silly TikToks or playing on the weekend or sport or having maybe sometimes friends fights or things like that, is like, how do you relate to them and go, "Oh, I used to deal with that," or "I've done that," you know. And then they feel like they're more normal because it's not just them, it's everyone that's had to go through it at some point in time. So they can relax a little bit more with you and they open up more. The other thing is when they're worried and stressed is we put a lot of pressure on them. We put a lot of pressure on them to perform, to tell them that they should do well, and then compare them to sometimes their brothers and sisters, which is the worst thing ever because we're all so unique. I know my sister is super smart but not very talented when it comes to sport, and vice versa. I'm very talented when it comes to sport, but I didn't know anything really at school unless it was sports related. So I think next time when we're worried about why is our kid stressed out, why are they moody, why are they upset, why won't they talk to me, let's try and take a step back and saying, what sort of pressures are we putting on them? What are we comparing them to? What are we trying to make them do when that's just not their lifestyle anymore?